Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 10th ever episode of Nintendo Tonight. Now, this is a pretty big episode. It's the big 1-0, the big 10. Um, we don't really have anything super crazy planned. Obviously, it's been a bit hectic here at the Switched Off headquarters, as I'm sure most of you guys know.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you, if I mean, hectic's a bit of an understatement, PJ. I would you would say
Seriously, yeah.
that's a bit of an understatement of the year.
Yeah, no doubt.
So for those of you who don't know, because the Nintendo Tonight YouTube channel is getting an influx of subscribers, Nintendo Tonight is our podcast. We try and do it somewhat weekly, bi-weekly. It's not really on a set schedule anymore. It's just kind of whenever
Yep.
we want. And it's a podcast, obviously mostly talk about Nintendo on it. And it's on also iTunes or Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So if
Yep.
you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and you don't know at all what we're talking about, so PJ and I run a YouTube channel called Switched Off. It's our main channel and it's where we put most of our effort into. Unfortunately, that channel Switched Off got hacked. I'm not gonna explain all of it because we already did like a 20-minute video explaining that. It's on the Nintendo Tonight YouTube channel if you're curious. It's called like I don't know what happened with Switched Off, like full explanation or something. It's
Yep.
pretty obvious which one it is. So yeah, I mean, thank you guys all for your support on that, and let's just try and get into a somewhat normal episode of the Nintendo Tonight podcast because while we can't really upload normal Switched Off videos, we can definitely do the podcast. So
Yep.
I'm looking forward to this one, PJ.
Yeah, so episode 10, big one. So we're going to try to make it a bit longer than it is usually because this is sort of, achievement.
Yeah, come on.
10 episodes in. 10 episodes into podcast. I mean, would have
That's
never
pretty
thought.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get
Thought we would've
into
quit.
Yeah.
Thought we would have quit at like 3.
Yeah.
Do 3, call it a day.
Yeah, that sounds like it, honestly. So today we'll get into the following here. So first up, we're going to be talking about some sales numbers. Animal Crossing became the second highest selling Nintendo Switch game of all time, surpassing some huge titles like Breath of the Wild, Smash Ultimate, and Super Mario Odyssey. We'll get into Sword and Shield sales, surpassing a very beloved game by fans. So we'll give our opinion on that. And next, we'll introduce our newest segment, Hot Takes, which was, originally supposed to be a part of the podcast plan when we first kind of started this, and we just never did. So today we're going to be introducing it. Thomas and I have, one hot take, one Nintendo hot take each, and we'll just be discussing it and debating it, all that good stuff. And then we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch having just full production back in factories, obviously, because with COVID, there was a ton of delays. And obviously, the Switch is in high demand the whole time during this entire pandemic. So we'll fully get into that and, see what that can mean for the rest of Nintendo's 2020. And lastly, we will answer your fan questions from episode 9. And we have quite a few from there, so that should be a longer segment as usual. So without further ado, we can get right into it here. So just kind of offhand here, like, what is your reaction to Animal Crossing New Horizons not only being the second best-selling Switch game of all time so far, but also being like one game standalone that has sold better than the entire Metroid franchise? Like, I saw that on Nintendo Reddit. I was like, what?
That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
that is
like,
so
what do you think of that?
Utterly ridiculous. I have a hard time believing. I knew it was good. Like everyone knew it was a success. Everyone knew it was a runaway success. The amount of people that you wouldn't expect to be playing, because it tapped into the casual market in a way that Nintendo hasn't done since the Wii and since like Wii Sports.
Yeah.
It just got everyone talking. Like I would go into school like or go into Zoom class, I guess, and people would be talking about like someone would be like, "Oh, Thomas, you see the new, like, I actually got a Switch," because they know me as like kind of a Switch guy, or at least some people do. And they'd go like, "Oh, I got a Switch and got that new Animal Crossing game. It's really fun." And like, these are people I would never expect to like. I didn't even think they knew what a Switch was, and they're talking about Animal Crossing. And so Nintendo, like, we knew it was going to be big, and there was also a trickle of like news that was saying like, kind of hyping us up to know how big it was going to be. Like every once in a while we'd get like, oh, it's the digital sales or the physical sales in Japan have surpassed expectations, or like like Europe's digital sales are double that of New Leaf, or just like random stats like that are like nothing as concrete as straight from Nintendo, but stuff that was still like, okay, yeah, we got something special on our hands, or
Yep.
Nintendo does at least. And I'm just so glad that it did so well for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. I never in my wildest dreams did I think Animal Crossing would do this well, but I guess now it's one of Nintendo's top tier
Biggest
franchises.
franchise, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. I
crazy.
mean, it's just nice to see another franchise from Nintendo be included into that, at least category of like a Mario or a Pokemon. Because, like, honestly, I
Exactly.
mean, it's surpassed that. I mean, it's even surpassed the biggest, like, collaboration game, lack of a better term,
Yeah.
of all franchises in gaming, just everything. Smash Ultimate. I mean, like,
Hmm.
look at that game, how many characters are in it, how many different franchises are included in it. I mean, Solid Snake from Metal Gear, like Cloud from Final Fantasy, and Bayonetta, and all of that, and even bringing back a fan favorite Banjo. I mean, that was pretty
Yeah.
huge too. And, Animal Crossing has surpassed it. And I'm happy for Animal Crossing fans at least because Amiibo Festival was just a nightmare, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And it's nice
Hate
to
it.
see the series kind of bounce back after that. I mean, I know New Leaf was great, but
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, like, to surpass Zelda and Mario Odyssey, probably two of the best like games in the series alone. Like, I'm not gonna say definitively like the best, but like
Yeah.
some of the best. I think that can be widely agreed. Crazy
Who
stuff,
would have
man.
thought? Who would have thought? Um, I mean, okay, getting into a bit of I guess it's not really a personal story. It's just a bit of a tangent, and we won't. I won't. This won't be a big Thomas tangent. I just a
Okay.
quick one.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I back I think 13 months ago. I purchased a fair amount of Nintendo stock when the stock was at like $45 a share.
Hmm.
And when this news came out, I was up late because I don't sleep. I was up at like 3 when, because it's Japanese time, because Nintendo's a Japanese company. They announced this news in an investor meeting. Get the little ding on my phone. Nintendo stock straight up. It's zooming. So I waited. It got to about 61, I think. $61 per share. Sold it, and I got in 13 months, I got like a 37% increase, which is like
Wow.
really good for stocks. And I just checked right before we started recording, and it's going back down again. Now it's at like 59.1. So kind of took a risk there selling kind of early, but I
Hmm.
it's looking like it's paying off. But it's just crazy that like even the investors, even the tone deaf like Nintendo investors, like everyone is taking notice of Animal Crossing. It is like
Yeah.
as we said earlier, it's tapped into the casual market in such an unexpected way that it's like it begs the question, PJ, do you think Animal Crossing, because I want to hear your take on this, because I
Yeah.
played the game at launch and then you got it like a month after, so it's more fresh in your memory.
I haven't played for a couple of weeks, but yeah, go on.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. I haven't played for a couple months. Do you think this game deserves all of the sales? Like, do you think it deserves to be higher than Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey? Because all of them are very good games. All the top selling Switch games, besides one, can you guess what it is? Or two, I guess technically. But
Yeah.
all the top selling Switch games, besides Pokemon, is the joke there. Are of high quality. All the like top five or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think that Animal Crossing deserves to be though above Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild?
I mean, I think on if I'm gonna be honest, like, Animal Crossing did extremely well out of launch, but I think what really like elevated it to this upper echelon of like Nintendo Switch sales is definitely the pandemic. I mean, like, you're
Exactly.
doing you're doing tasks in game that sometimes you would do in real life, and it's like
Mhm.
I've seen that comparison drawn by. I've just seen like articles and stuff of people like saying that, and it makes sense, and it's just timed perfectly. Like, I don't know. I mean, do I think it deserves to be there? No, honestly, no,
Yeah.
because new like I've just seen so many places like New Leaf had so much more content, and it seems that like New Horizons was not really complete at launch. And I mean, it's kind of nice having these free updates, but if you're knowledgeable of the past in the series, then you would know like like I want more features on top of that, right? I mean, the community that they've built through that with Animal Crossing, with custom designs and just everything, seems to be, majorly positive, or the majority of it is positive.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good part of it. It boosts Switch sales, like again, like you said.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know because like it was not exactly finished, if you want to consider that, if you're a past Animal Crossing fan. But if you're unknowledgeable about that, then yeah, no doubt. I mean, because
Yeah.
it is a good game. Even if some stuff is missing, it is a very good game, and
Yeah.
you can play it for a long, long time. I enjoyed it when I played every single day. So
Yeah. I remember
you know,
those days.
yeah.
Good times.
So I mean, I'm on the fence about it. I mean, like, I can understand, but personally for
Yeah.
me, I don't think that it should be passing a game that changed Zelda forever in Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, which is, I personally think a top 3 Mario game of all time. Some people may think it's top 2 or the best, but consensus for that I would say is top 3. But for the most part, on the fence about Animal Crossing deserving that top 2 spot.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it does. I in no way am saying the game's bad.
Oh,
It
definitely
is
not.
not
No.
bad at all. Trying to get that clear. I don't even really play it anymore, but I still watch Animal Crossing content. I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of the Switch Force. He does a lot of Animal Crossing stuff,
Hmm.
like Animal Crossing streams. Mayor Mori
Yep.
does some really cool guides and all that. And on a smaller scale, I don't think he makes videos that much anymore. But your friend Brad or BR Mini, or
Yep.
Many, I think it's
Yep.
pronounced.
Yeah.
Watched
Yeah.
him too. Like all those guys are great, and the game is very fun. I just think it was a perfect storm was the reason it did so well.
100%.
It tapped into the casual market at the time where the casual market was looking for something to do. And yeah, I think Nintendo just got insanely lucky in a
Hmm.
sales perspective. Now granted they kind of needed a win because if you look at the rest of this year, Paper Mario did not sell well at all.
Yeah.
Like really, really poor sales, but
Yeah.
we'll wait.
We'll get
Yeah.
into Nintendo's rest of 2020 in many
Yeah.
podcasts in the future, and even this one. But I think you said it just perfectly. I mean, like, the casual market was looking for something like that, and it achieved
Yeah.
it. I mean, Animal Crossing really is a great game for that. Boosted Switch sales. Put up the demand of the Switch. Like, I don't think, I personally don't think, if Animal Crossing was doing so well and the Switch wasn't in so much demand, that the Switch wouldn't have, or that the Switch would have come back with that regular production line this early, at least,
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
it's still a pandemic, right? So this game is going to continue to sell well, and I'm going to be honest, I would not be surprised if it eventually goes number 1. Will that be surpassed? I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. But just to overall end it off, or end this little segment, I suppose, off, you said that perfectly. Casual market looking for, a game like this, and it was just timed perfectly, and they did honestly get
Yeah.
lucky. Not to take any credit away, of course, but,
Exactly.
is what it is.
Yeah, of course. I think that about sums up our thoughts on Animal Crossing in particular. But there's another game
Oh,
we mentioned
yes.
it earlier, or
Yes.
two games once again. Do you want to get into the Pokemon Sword and
Oh,
Shield
yes, I will.
dilemma?
Oh, yes, I will. Yes, I will.
All right,
So,
I'm ready for this. Let me get
this
my
this
popcorn.
this new sales thing came out, sales report, not sales thing,
Yeah.
Jesus, came out, and it comes out that Sword and Shield has sold 18.22 million copies, and it has surpassed Super Mario Odyssey at 18.06, and what I think is the top 2 greatest Pokemon games of all time. Top 2, top 3. I'm not gonna. Anyway,
Yeah.
some of my favorite games of all time: Pokemon Diamond and Pearl at 17.67 million. So, what does this mean for the franchise? Now, we have been very vocal on our hatred, not hatred, but
That's a,
our displeasure, not
yeah.
displeasure. With the Pokemon franchise, man. I mean, there's a plethora of problems that we've, dedicated an entire episode to. Episode 5, I believe, the Pokemon episode, if you want to go refer back to that and hear me complain about lag. But anyway, my biggest problem, okay, cool. Sword and Shield is selling good. I mean, Game Freak got a lot of slack. There was a lot of problems that maybe people should have thought more about before hating. But this is my problem. Like we said before, if Sword and Shield sells really well, they're just gonna say, I mean, hey, we'll just keep doing this, right? It's selling
Exactly.
well, why not? And the thing that I don't like is that the Diamond and Pearl remakes are next in the schedule of mainline Pokemon games to be released. So, if they do it in the or Sword and Shield style, I'm going to be very disappointed because, as I said, some of my favorite Pokemon games ever ruined by this format. I guess I'll call it formula that I
Hmm.
just don't like at all. The wild area, so many problems. The story was just dead. Yeah, Team Yell was a complete joke. Like, so many problems with Sword and Shield, yet people, still buy the game, which, I mean, I'm not going to hate on people for buying the game, but it's just hard to see because, like, when you do, or not even do the math, but when you look at the numbers, if you're a Game Freak, Pokemon Company, or something, like, you kind of take that as oh yeah, it sold well. I mean, we'll do that for some of the greatest remakes probably ever. And the remake games have honestly probably been, the highest point of the Pokemon series because you take the games that are beloved so much in the beginning, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, and then you make them even better. Like every single remake, everyone has to agree, and there's no way. I would be surprised if somebody disagreed with me, but there's no way
Yeah.
that the original games are better than the remakes. The remakes make everything better, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Sprinkle that little part of new gen Pokemon that adds just a few things that makes the old games like inconvenient. Like for example, when you use a repel, you can't press yes like it was introduced in Gen 5, where if your repel runs out, you would have to go back to your bag and then click it again and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
keep
yeah.
going. But when your repel ran out in Gen 5 and on, then you would get the prompt to
Just put it back
say
on.
yeah, to put it
Do
back on
another.
without having to go back in the bag. So just small things like that obviously make the remakes better. And for right now, Sword and Shield, I'm really frustrated with it. And if they ruin some of my not ruin, but if they really don't make the golden standard that I'm expecting for this Diamond and Pearl remakes, which are, you know, very nostalgic for me and my childhood and everything, and if they do it in this format that I really don't like, I'm just gonna be very disappointed in the Pokemon series and probably not continue to support it, at least
Support.
for the old games. Yeah,
Of course. And the issue with this, we've talked about just Pokemon and the problem with their current what they're currently doing
many
so
times.
many
Yep.
times. Yeah. But just these sales come out. I'll read these to you guys. So Pokemon Sword and Shield has sold 18.22 million units. That is third in terms of the total Pokemon uh, uh like list, I guess. And it's just barely above Diamond and Pearl. Um, and it is below a Gold and Silver, which sold 23.1 million units.
Yep.
But it's likely going to pass that. Only 5 million more units need to be sold of Sword and Shield to pass that. And obviously, the Switch is far from dead.
Of
And
course.
then Pokemon Red and Blue are at 31 million units. So obviously, probably never going to hit Red and Blue, or definitely never going to hit Red and Blue. I don't think any Pokemon game will ever hit Red and Blue again. But a lot of people are saying, okay, it sold really well compared to all the other Pokemon games. But I would like to take that a step further. Game Freak, well, I don't want to say 100% sure because I haven't seen any official Game Freak anything say this, or the Pokemon Company say this, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and use just public data and math to back myself up. Game Freak has made, or the Pokemon Company has made more money from Sword and Shield than any other game in the series because
Yep.
they are sold at $60 instead of the DS games, which are sold at $40. And the original Game Boy games, the only games that would have a chance of possibly beating it are Gold and Silver and Red and Blue, because
Yep.
those are the only games that have sold more copies. And both of those games were sold at, I believe, $30 because that was the MSRP for Game Boy games. I think it was like 29.95. So by doing that math, even if Red and Blue was sold at half the price of Sword and Shield, Sword and Shield still made more money. they're not going to change their ways. There's no way that
Yeah.
even though there was an astronomical amount of fan backlash, probably the most I've seen for any Nintendo game
Yep.
that I can remember.
Yep.
Um, there's no feasible way that they changed their ways when they literally just made the most money off of a game
That's my biggest
they have
concern.
ever made.
Yeah. That's my biggest concern. Like Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum are some of the I think the most complete games ever.
Mhm.
Obviously Heart Gold and Soul Silver has the best after game of all time, in my opinion, because
You just get
it's a
another
whole
region. It's
region.
like,
It's a
yeah.
whole region. Take that as you will, if you even want to consider that an after game, or the after game begins after you beat that. Anyway, I think that Diamond Pearl Platinum after game was probably the best, and the most complete game. All legendaries were accessible in some way. A lot of cool events, whether that be Giratina's Distortion World or the Dialga Palkia event in Diamond and Pearl, and just
Yeah.
stuff like that, and how you can bring that all together in the remake, and kind of bring the stories together and make it even more enjoyable, and make a bunch of legendaries catchable, and make exciting events, or if you I mean, they probably would, make you pay for DLC to have a Giratina event post game, for example. Like, I seriously could see that, a Distortion World, like an expanded Distortion World sort of
Yeah, like the Isle of
storyline.
Armor or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Just expand upon that and charge whatever Isle of Armor is priced at. So, I mean, I'm just really hoping that they do kind of stay away from this format with the wild area and everything, and go back to how the original Pokemon games were. I mean, I get they're trying to do something new. A lot of Switch games from the big franchises have started doing new things. Obviously, Breath of the Wild completely changing
Yeah.
everything. Odyssey is just like new, fresh human NPCs. What the hell? Like, so,
Yeah, of course.
just stuff like that. And I think Pokemon Sword and Shield, at least in the eyes of fans, failed going towards that new direction. And just to kind of reiterate, I don't want to see that. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I could go on for hours and get more in depth
Yeah.
about, this remake and everything, but I'll save the fans. But
It's brutal.
I want these games to be perfect, because
Yeah.
they are my favorite games ever. It's like if 3D World Deluxe for you was announced, it came out, and it took something out like so integral, or
Yeah,
changed
it
something
like
so
removed
integral that, like,
multiplayer.
yeah,
It just
then it would be like a buzzkill, right? So like
it would suck.
that's
It would be
yeah,
terrible.
that's how I feel. It's be like Sinnoh Wild Area. It's like, wow, and then
Yeah.
I just lag.
Yeah. I mean, if they did it right, it could be good, but
Could be amazing, of course. I mean,
there's
Sinnoh is a
no.
great region.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, we could talk about Pokemon for hours. We already
We've done
have.
a whole episode
Yeah,
about
done whole
it. Yeah.
episodes based on Pokemon.
Yep.
But yeah. Oh well. I mean, what are you gonna do? Guess we'll just cross our fingers, wait and see. Hopefully, I mean, Pokemon Snap looks pretty good if we ever see more of
That
that.
too.
It
Yeah.
was that supposed to come out this year or no? I don't
I
think they
forget.
announced it this
I
year.
I don't think so. I forget,
Alright,
but
yeah.
I mean, it's just Pokemon Snap. I mean, it's a cool title, but it's not like something insanely
Yeah. No, you're right. It's
crazy or
not. It
anything.
doesn't look crazy.
Yeah.
Um.
I mean,
Anyway.
just to finish off the Pokemon point, and then we will go to the next segment here. Even the national decks, a lot of questions arise about, like, are they going to add that in this game, considering they had time to do it now, or if they've had time to do it now, like, are they going to do this?
Yeah.
Whole lot of questions for Game Freak and that entire team and the Pokemon Company over there for what they're gonna do for these Diamond and Pearl remakes. But I just got my fingers crossed here, hoping that it's gonna be good in whatever formula or format of Pokemon game that they choose it to be. All right, so after my long Pokemon tangent, and you'll have to give me that, because after your many rants over the
Oh yeah.
9
No, I'm
episodes,
not
I think I
complaining.
gotta
I'm
go.
not
I
complaining.
think I
Yeah, of
gotta
course. Go right ahead.
come up for one.
I'm not complaining. I've done my fair share. Taken my fair share of rants.
Yep. So yeah, we'll move on to hot takes. So obviously hot takes, unpopular opinions that are kind of crazy. So I'll let you
Oh yeah.
I'll let you go first. What is your Nintendo
Okay.
hot take of this episode?
And quickly, I'm going to. I told this to PJ before, when we were brainstorming our hot takes.
Yeah, but we didn't really like
These,
elaborate upon it.
yeah. I'm gonna. Well, no. We didn't. Tell each other. I'm just trying to explain to the fans, the viewers, the listeners.
Of course.
These hot takes are going to be actually hot takes. So the entire point of them is that no one else will agree but the person who is saying them. That is the point of a hot take. The word hot take has gotten, or the phrase hot take has gotten so watered down by social media, because on Twitter, you'll see people go hot take and then say something that is like, you'll literally see people go hot take. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the best Smash Bros. Game, or hot take.
Super Mario 64 is the best Mario game ever. Like,
yeah.
okay.
And it's like,
Yep.
most of the time they're saying stuff which is, it's not even
Not even
in
a hot
any
take.
way controversial. It's literally the general opinion. And even if they're not, like, even if I'm saying Super Mario 3D World is the best 3D Mario, I wouldn't even say that's really a hot take, because that, like, even though most people generally don't agree, it's not something that's so outrageous that that other people can't even understand where
Yeah.
you're coming from,
Yeah.
right? So these hot takes, when you hear them, they're kind of intended for you guys to be like, what are they talking about? So don't
Yeah.
don't freak
Yeah.
out, because that's kind of the entire point of what a hot take is.
Yep.
With that out of the way, mine is
Here we go.
out there.
Oh, yeah.
Mine is about Mario Party. Definitely, if you guys are longtime listeners of Nintendo Tonight, first of all, thank you for being longtime listeners. But second of all, you will know my disdain and utter hatred for the game
Super
Super
Mario
Mario Party. Hatred is a strong word, but I do hate Super Mario Party. I hate everything that it stands for. They marketed it as a return to form, and it was,
The
in my
opposite.
opinion, the exact opposite. It would be like if they took Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, I'll put it in language you can understand, PJ. If they took Pokemon Diamond and Pearl and said, "Hey, we're doing remakes of Diamond and Pearl," and then showed everyone, "Look, we're using all the Sinnoh Pokemon," but then instead of making it a actual remake of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, they made it a dating simulator where you date all the Pokemon in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
That bad.
It's that far from what Mario Party actually is. Like, on the
Wow.
surface, if you look at it, it kind of looks like Mario Party, but as soon as you start playing it, it is a boring slog fest where you just grind golden pipes. There's no strategy, no luck, there's no anything. It's just the game plays itself. It's not fun. I am going out. My hot take is Super Mario Party for the Nintendo Switch is a worse game than Mario Party 10 for the Wii U, which is generally regarded to be the worst Mario Party.
Wow.
It's the one with the Bowser mode, where you
Oh,
can
that was
play,
horrible.
yeah, you can play with three people, or three or four people, or I guess two, 3 or 4 people in a cart, and you all are in the car together, and you go throughout the course,
Right.
and then the one person is on the gamepad and plays as Bowser, and has to
Oh,
catch up
yeah.
to them. I think that game is more fun than Super Mario Party, because I'm not gonna, the problem with hot takes is people get all offended. So even though that is my hot take, I'm not, of course,
You
if
just,
you
you
think,
just got to be
if,
confident with it, you know?
yeah, you're right. Okay. If you think the other way, I don't hate you as a person, of course. I understand that most people think the other way, but I I think that Super Mario Party is a worse game than Mario Party 10. And personally, I do know that I've had way more fun with Mario Party 10, because at least if you get the right group of friends together, Mario Party 10 can be a fun game. I have never had I've never had as much fun with Super Mario Party as I have with Mario Party 10. Exhibit A, the Bowser mode. It's an utter
Disaster.
crapshoot. It
That
is
too.
an utter disaster, but it is so fun, because everyone knows that the game is just not balanced at all. So
Mhm.
when you're playing it, it can still be fun. That's the difference between the two. Super Mario Party is not balanced, but it's also just not fun. Everyone plays it, the game plays itself. The Bowser game, it's still possible for Bowser to lose. He just wins like 99% of the time.
Yeah.
And there's so many intricate, like, not intricate, but there are more opportunities to create fun moments in or in Mario Party 10, because one of the things in Mario Party 10 that can happen in the Bowser mode is there are so Bowser player is looking at the gamepad, and the other player, the group of, like, players using normal Wii remotes that are in the car,
Right.
are at a fork in the road, right, PJ? So they can either go up or down, left and right, whatever. One of the paths has a bunch of like stars and coins and stuff, and the other path has like a bunch of red spaces, like spikes, like bad stuff you don't want to land on, right? Um, what happens is there's like a fog or something covering up the path, so you don't know which one's good and which one's bad. And then the Bowser player looking at the gamepad can see which one's good and which one's bad, and using the stylus, he can write on the fog, like kind of like PictoChat, like you can
Oh,
just
yeah.
write or draw stuff. You can write and draw stuff on the fog, and then it shows up on the TV and can influence the other team's decision. So you can lie, obviously, and go choose this one when you want them like on the bad one, or you can do some reverse psychology. You can get in the other team's head, go choose this one, so then they'll choose the other one, but the one you were telling them to choose was the right one. It like, of course, obviously, you can just start drawing random stuff. You can draw little stick figures, you can draw other things. I'll leave that to your imagination, PJ, of fun stuff to draw while you're with a group of friends. But there's so much more. It's little moments like that like, even though Mario Party 10 is still nowhere near the best Mario Party, it at least elevates it above Super Mario Party, because there's opportunities for memories to be made. Whereas in Super Mario Party, I honestly feel like there is no, like, the only time you can have a positive memory in that game, or like a positive experience, is solely based on the people you're with. Whereas Mario Party 10, it at least prompts you to have a fun time based on the people you're with, via like little moments like that.
Hmm.
That is my hot take. I know people are probably gonna kill me in the comments. If anyone's been listening to this, like, anyone's gotten this far, I feel like we're probably like an hour in at this point. I don't actually know how long we are.
Only half an
But
hour.
only half an hour. Okay, sounds good. That Pokemon rant lasted a while in my head. The Mario Party. I like, if anyone has gotten this far and is on YouTube, so you can comment your thoughts on this, because I am very curious as to where Mario Party 10 stands amongst you guys. I know the general community hates it. Got like a really bad score on Metacritic. I think like a 60 or 50. Not saying I disagree with that score at all. I'm just thinking that it is better than Super Mario Party. That's my
Yeah.
hot take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I knew you didn't like Super Mario Party, but wow. You know?
Mhm.
Wow.
It's brutal.
Um,
Yeah. It's really bad.
yeah, so my hot take is back again to Pokemon Sword and Shield. And honestly,
Gotcha.
at this point, I just think I can't believe it. I think the mainline Pokemon series is irrecoverable after Sword and Shield. Like, wow.
It sounds crazy to say, but I can get where
It
you're coming
sounds
from.
so crazy because, like you said, they've made the most money. It's
Yeah.
sold so well. It's sold, better than some of the best Pokemon games ever. But the community just is not a fan of it. I mean, I just don't see like the the general population that own this game like it and like the formula for it. I mean,
Hmm.
not only was it weird and strange and all of the above that the national decks got taken out, but it's so laggy. And look, when it was on the handhelds, okay. Like, I mean, it was a long time ago. I mean, I expected that, and that's why I don't complain. But it's the Switch. There's
Yeah.
no reason that you
There's
should be
no excuse.
lagging running around, or if I press B on my Rotom bike to drop 15 FPS. It's like, bro, it's unbelievable. And just like stuff like that just adds it up and just makes me lose so much faith with
Yeah.
the Pokemon franchise itself. Like, I keep going back to Diamond and Pearl remakes. Like, I seriously don't think they're gonna be good. Like,
Yeah. It sucks. It sucks,
it's
man.
it's bad, man. It's bad. I just there's so many problems with Sword and Shield that they have to go back to the drawing board and just run back to what was kind of before it, I suppose. And oh, if they do another Let's Go game, the Game Freak and the Pokemon Company will never hear the end of it. But I mean, man,
Yeah.
it's
I
just so
mean,
sad for a series that I grew up on like this, for it to fall like this, not sales wise, but at least for
quality wise.
yeah, my just quality wise and just how I've enjoyed the game. I mean, like the Pokemon, like the teams of the game, like Team Galactic, Team Magma, all of that, so iconic, and like actually was not a joke, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
at the spoilers, but it's an old game. Like at the end of Platinum, basically, after you're done with all this storyline, the negative storyline with the legendary Pokemon and everything. Cyrus literally sits in the distortion world forever. After you
Yeah.
catch/kill a Giratina, he sits there forever. Like you're sitting in like an alternate dimension and assuming just like to die. Like it's unbelievable. And you go from that to TBL, like they run around with like paper megaphones, just running
They
around
go,
being clowns. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And just on top of that, just all of my complaints with Sword and Shield and the lack of communication that Game Freak has had and just them not listening to fans and everything just makes me lose faith in the Pokemon series, and it just leads me to believe that it's irrecoverable from the peak that I think was at Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and from then on just kind of went down. The Sun and Moon series were not exactly bad games, just not to my taste, but ever since the Switch started doing the mainline Pokemon games, just been downhill from there for me at least.
Yeah. So just to kind of sum up your hot take, are you're saying that you think like as of Sword and Shield, there will never be like another like Pokemon game. Like Pokemon will never be able to return to the quality that they
Yeah.
once were.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't think that they're going to be able to hit that peak that was Omega
Yeah.
Ruby Alpha Sapphire ever again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong. I hope my opinion changes, but from what I've seen, like again, I'm putting sales aside, everyone. Once again, I'm just
Yeah.
having my opinion about like
This
the
is in
game
terms of
itself.
quality, not
Yeah,
sales.
yeah. It's just disappointing. Just disappointing to me, totally. And I think that's pretty much it for me.
Exactly. Okay, so there are our two hot takes. If you guys enjoyed this segment, let us know in the comments of this YouTube video or just tweet at us if you're on iTunes or Spotify.
Yep.
We will do more of these segments. We have a couple of different segments that we've just kind of never really done.
Yep.
Originally, when we were like drafting, making a podcast, we put in more segments, but there's always been a relatively big news story we want to
Yep.
talk about, so we haven't really
Yep.
needed to do the segments. But of course, let us know if you want to see the any more hot takes. I guess episode 10, hot takes 1. My hot take: Super Mario Party is worse than Mario Party 10. PJ's hot take: the Pokemon franchise, at least in terms of video games, will never be able to regain the quality that it once had. Those
Never,
are
yeah,
some pretty
never be
hot,
able,
spicy takes.
yeah, never be able to regain, or at least its peak from,
Yeah.
in my opinion, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah.
So, yeah, be sure to tweet at us and put in the comments like your opinions on that. I mean, I'm pretty sure Thomas and I will feel free to debate with you.
Yeah,
If you have a counter argument of some sort, for sure we'll conversate with you about that. So, moving on here, next topic, we got the Nintendo Switch is back up to full production. Obviously, the Switch is in high demand, very, very high demand. And we got a quote here from Nintendo on the production, kind of going back to some normalcy here, saying, COVID-19 created some difficulties in procuring the parts required for the manufacture of Nintendo Switch consoles, but the situation has almost recovered. However, if the impact of COVID-19 expands in the future, it may affect manufacturing and etc. Regarding Nintendo Switch consoles, because there is a time lag between production and the stocking of store shelves, and because demand remains strong, of course, there are still shortages. I can't speak today, man. In some regions,
all good.
we work hard.
Couple of days.
Yeah, seriously. We work hard to be able to deliver these products to consumers as quickly as possible. So toward the future of the Switch, and I think you can have a rant about this for just the Switch's year in general. I know the pandemic has caused a lot of problems, but you were talking about Paper Mario and all that. Like, what does this mean for Nintendo's, latter half of 2020 here?
Yeah. Well, so first of all, let's kind of break down that exact statement. It's generally Nintendo is saying that production of the Switch, which was slowed down, Switches were very difficult to find earlier this year when Animal Crossing craze was at its peak, Animal Crossing mania. They've gotten somewhat easier to find. Specifically, I think a lot of people have been able to find Switch Lites. Base Nintendo Switches, though, have been a bit more difficult to find, which leads me to believe maybe either something in the Joy-Cons or something in the dock has been in shortage and they just can't make as many consoles as they want. Regardless of what it actually is, Nintendo has not been able to make as many consoles as they want. They have not been able to meet demand. And normally Nintendo does something like this a lot. happened most recently, or maybe not most recently, but what comes to mind most is the amiibo shortages, where
Hmm.
Nintendo would intentionally not produce as much as they thought they need to kind of create hype and buzz around their product. What was interesting about this, though, is I feel like they weren't doing that because they were very upfront and clear, saying, "Hey, we want to have as many Switches as we can. COVID-19 is kind of screwing us over, though," which makes complete sense. You know, I've been critical on how much Nintendo's been letting us know about how much COVID has impacted the development side of Nintendo, because they came out and said, "Oh, it hasn't affected us at all development-wise," and then they had literally no games, and the only game we have dated right now is a 7-year-old Wii U port. And then they were sending very mixed messages saying, "Hey, nothing has been delayed," but then not showing anything besides WWE. So I was very critical of Nintendo's development side reaction to COVID, just mainly in terms of the lack of communication there. This,
Hmm.
though, is completely understandable, and there was communication, so obviously I'm not upset at all. The shortage of Nintendo Switches makes complete sense. They can't get the parts required because of COVID. It's not like you can work from home when you have to work at a factory. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I feel like Nintendo is I feel like they're kind of in worst case scenario, or not worst case scenario. They're kind of in like a best case scenario, but they're not able to capitalize on it
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like, imagine if Animal Crossing Mania happened, and then a game like Animal Crossing happened earlier this year, and then a game like Smash Bros was able to come out this holiday, or something like
Yeah.
something else that would capitalize on all the brand new users. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they're not really able to do that, which is kind of the issue here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad to see this because there was a lot of and lack of a better term, I mean, reselling scumbags, honestly. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Reselling scumbags, like pricing the Switch on eBay, Amazon, just like buying it with bots from online and reselling it for 800, 900, or like
Yeah,
800, 900 US dollars. It's like, come on, man. Like, and
it's
they're
unfortunate.
literally like just buying it not to play it, but to resell it and to make extra money
I
on it.
know.
And it's
People were
like,
doing
come
that with like
on.
masks too. Like in America at least, people were doing that with like masks during
Mm.
COVID, and like tissues and Purell. Like, how much of a scumbag do you
Toilet
have to
paper.
be?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I remember that was a meme for a couple weeks too. It's like, bro, like come
bro,
on.
it's ridiculous. How much of a scumbag do you have to be to make a quick buck out of like a pandemic? Like, seriously? Are
Yeah.
you that are you that unable to make money any other way? Like,
It's
come
disappointing.
on, bro. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
it's
it's disappointing.
pathetic. It's actually just pathetic that
Yeah.
like humans have to reach that low. Like, come on. You seriously can't like apply for a job, or like, put what little money you have in stocks, learn the stock market, climb up that way, or like there are so many other more legitimate ways to make money than
Yeah.
taking advantage of people in need. That shouldn't even be an option that comes
Nintendo
into your head.
Switch, yeah, Nintendo Switches aside, just like generalized, just
Oh
reselling
yeah.
stuff like that
It's
is a little
so
little
it's
pathetic.
so dumb,
But
dude.
to go back to the Nintendo side of it, at least, I'm glad to see it, and I do think it was Joy Cons because I kept trying to buy Joy Cons on Amazon, and they were more expensive than usual, and they would be sold out 24/7. So I think that, as you said, it may have been something a part of the dock, or something for the Joy Cons, because they were talking about how like a certain part of the Switch was not being able to be manufactured at an efficient rate because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
So um, that's good to see, though. Good to see that companies are at least getting back into the groove of things in a safe manner, of course.
of
Um,
course.
but we don't actually have this written down. But I just want to talk about it. I mean, like now that they're finally, um, putting Nintendo Switches back into full production, or close to getting there. I mean, after this Pikmin 3 Deluxe announcement, like, what's next? I mean, do you seriously think that
Mario,
these?
Mario,
You
Mario
think these Mario
remastered.
now? Yeah, you think the Mario remasters are going to be revealed pretty soon now?
100%.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks because don't have access to my channel, so hopefully they are not
If you keep
revealed.
talking about it, you're gonna make yourself crazy.
Yeah, I can't even. I'm not gonna touch on that. But I do think they're gonna get announced somewhat soon. My bet is September, to be precise.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think they have something else for this year. They're not relying on Pikmin coming out in October as their big holiday game. Because if they wanted that game to be their big holiday game, which is also kind of a brain dead move because Pikmin is not the biggest franchise, but if they wanted Pikmin to be their big holiday game, it would have been in later November instead of late October.
Yeah.
So it could actually carry their holiday and not have kind of fizzled out by the time Christmas rolls around. So
Yeah.
they clearly have something else. That's the Pikmin announcement essentially confirmed that they have something else for this year. I don't think that they would have a brand new game come out then and not announce it like by now, if that makes sense. Like I
Yeah.
feel like the only reasonable option is for it to be the 3D World port, or honestly, what I think it more likely is the Mario 35th anniversary remasters, coming out this holiday, coming out November, mid-November, taking that kind of Pokemon slot that Pokemon had last year. Yeah, I mean that's what I think.
Yeah. With Paper Mario selling so horribly, I mean, they got. I personally haven't looked at it, but you said it was not selling very well. Um,
Yeah,
Talk on that a little bit. I mean, like Paper Mario seemed to be their focal point, at least, because I mean, when you think about what an E3 would have been, I mean, I guess it would have been Min Min plus Paper Mario, and
yeah.
I mean,
Um, yeah.
you're just looking it up real quick.
Yeah, I want to find exactly
Yeah,
the
because
numbers.
Paper Mario, people really thought that they were gonna go back to that Thousand Year Door formula. I mean, I've just sounded like a broken record saying this over and over and over again,
Of
but
course.
apparently, and I haven't bought it, but apparently it wasn't that. They took away XP again, which is very disappointing. I mean, like, I don't know why. A lot of people wanted it. Maybe it's to take away like a grind for the game or something, but I'm not too sure what exactly they were doing there. I think it's been perceived pretty well though by fans and everything. I just don't think there's been a lot of sales, but I don't know.
Yeah. So from what I'm seeing, we don't have any straight data yet, unless somehow Nintendo announced something during this in recent investors meeting, but I don't think they did. I think they updated their top selling list, and it wasn't on that, understandably.
Yeah,
I from what I'm seeing here, I'm gonna read off some stats, some numbers here. These are from the first week sales of every Paper Mario game. However, this does not include. This is also specifically from Japan for every Mario game, so that's not really a factor. Or every Paper Mario game, but this doesn't include digital sales, and digital sales are stronger on the Switch than like the 3DS, Wii U, and obviously games like Thousand Year Door didn't have a digital option. So this isn't 100%, but it's still pretty rough when you look at it. So Super Paper Mario on the Wii was within the first week the highest selling Paper Mario game at 150,000 units. Thousand Year Door comes in right beneath that at 137,000 units within the first week in Japan. Paper Mario: The Origami King comes in a couple of notches below that at 109,000 units. So it's less than the Thousand Year Door, which is say that like digital sales doubled it, which is a high estimate, but kind of understandable given that people don't want to go outside because of COVID. So let's say digital sales are double the physical sales. That would mean that Origami King is the highest selling Paper Mario game, but it also is like 200,000 copies within the first week is not that crazy when you take a look at that. It was pretty much the only Nintendo game at the time, so there was no other games for people to be buying, and it's on the Switch, which is selling way better than the GameCube did, or selling way better than the GameCube did just in its entire life. Not to mention, this came out pretty early in the GameCube, 2005 or 2004, I think, which actually is not. It's not super early. That's like a couple years into the GameCube's life, about the middle. And Thousand Year Door, at least not counting Origami King's digital sales, is ahead of it in terms of first week sales. So it's just like it's like I don't know if you can necessarily outright call the sales bad, but it definitely was not like it wasn't an insane overperformer like Animal Crossing. It wasn't an
yeah,
overperformer at all. It's like
yeah.
kind of
I
mediocre.
mean, I mean, they tried to promote it. It's really hard to kind of announce a game like that and put big emphasis on it when you don't have a direct, understandably.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta also ask yourself, like, does Nintendo put, that amount of emphasis on the Paper Mario series, period, I guess? Because, I mean, they would tweet out these videos and little snippets from it, and overall, before release, they did probably, what, like 15 minutes total, whether that be trailer or gameplay, just talk about the game. They didn't really go into
Yeah.
depth about how it's gonna work. They just kind of blindsided people with this
Except
no
for
XP
the
thing.
treehouse, but the treehouse was very. It didn't really show much.
Yeah.
It was more of just like a 30-minute gameplay demo, but it was only of the first area and like the first boss.
Yeah.
So it really
And
was not. It didn't. Yeah. It
like a
didn't show
lot of
much.
negativity came from it because people were like, "Oh my god, no XP." It's like
Yeah.
shame. It's a shame.
It's a shame. The game looks good. The
It
game
does.
looks really
It really
good.
does. It really does.
I just think it just
Graphics
didn't
wise, yeah.
sell. Yeah, well, graphics wise, and I honestly think like if you're not going into it expecting an RPG like Thousand Year Door, you get witty story moments, you get heartfelt story beats, you get funny dialogue, you get best graphics in a Paper Mario game, and you get a battle system that is not what people initially wanted, but seems to have kind of won the majority of the fan base over in terms of just being kind of a cool addition. Um, I just don't think it was. It was. I think it was set up to fail. Like it just. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but I just feel like there was when Nintendo games come out, there's normally a set amount of like buzz or hype around them. I
Yeah.
really did not feel that hype at all with Origami.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I agree with you there. It just didn't feel like there was like enough attention on it. It really didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
A little unfortunate, but from then
Shame.
on,
Shame.
it's so depressing. Me being
Yeah.
so depressed about Pokemon, and then us being disappointed in Paper Mario and all that. It's like such a depressing
is
episode,
sad.
and the channel's
This is-
gone. It's like,
Oh,
oh
and
my
the channel's
god.
terminated. Yeah, bro, it's the channel. I'm more sad that Paper Mario. I'm more sad that the $1 billion Nintendo company, one of their games
It's
didn't
suffering, yeah,
perform well.
but like our channel,
Yeah.
nah.
Our channel, our passion for the past 3 years. That could be terminated. I don't really care.
All right, so let's move on to fan questions here.
Yeah, let's.
I got quite a few here. Some might be a little odd, so we can kind of quickly get through those. But anyway,
Okay, great preface to that.
oh no, of course. I mean, like, there's one about WarioWare, so I just wanted to like kind of let you know in advance that it's going to be a little odd and out of left field. So,
Okay, I got you.
First
I'm all
up
down
here
for that.
from Liam Tolan, I believe that's pronounced. How did you guys meet? Well, very interesting story. I don't think we've ever told this, have we?
So we're actually we're cousins, PJ and I.
Okay.
And
No.
that's a lie. Okay, I gotta clarify that's a lie. Sometimes I'm sarcastic on this, and then people like one time I said we were going on tour. Nintendo Tonight was going on tour, which I thought
There
was a
like,
clear
I
joke.
read a comment today and it was like, I thought you guys were being serious, and then he said Kyoto, Japan, and then he was just like, yeah, then I knew you were trolling.
Yeah,
But,
I thought that
Yeah, he's trolling.
the 900 sub at the time podcast channel would not be going on tour during a pandemic. I thought that was clear. I apologize if my sarcasm wasn't obvious enough. We are not cousins. We're actually brothers. So yeah, that explains that.
No, I'll explain. I'll explain it. Okay, so I would say 2 years ago. I guess 2 years ago. I
Two
quit.
and a half, I think.
Yeah, 2.5. Anyway, so I used to have a channel called, or well, I still do, but I don't post on it anymore. Called Smashcast or Smash Podcast. I owned it with my friend AG, who doesn't really do YouTube stuff anymore. But we started in like 2013. We did Smash 4 speculation, character cuts, a lot of controversial opinions from 13 to 15-year-olds. So
Yeah.
I quit for a couple years, I believe, and then I came back and I saw one of Thomas's videos in my feed, and he had like 400 subscribers at the time. So I honestly just shot him a DM, and I was just like,
I remember.
I was just like, dude, do you want to collab? And he was like, wow, like I can't believe that, like, you DM me, because like at the time, like I had like 2,000 plus, and he had like probably 300 or something like that. So like
Yeah.
obviously you're gonna react and be like,
while you're talking, I'm gonna go find those
I
old
no,
DMs.
I'm already doing it right now. Yeah,
Really? Okay.
yeah, no. Here, I'll read the DM. So this guy,
This
like
guy, me.
what happened is I tweeted at him. I actually
Yeah,
didn't
because
DM
I
him
didn't
first.
check. I didn't. Well, no, you did. You DM'd me. I didn't respond, and then you tweeted at me at switched up. Check DMs because I didn't check my DMs because I had 300 subscribers, maybe 20 Twitter followers. No one was sending me DMs, so I didn't even check. I didn't even
Yeah.
bother to check.
Yeah,
I
so
must
I
not have
let
seen
it.
it.
I'm not gonna leak everything because like it's kind of cringy from the both of us. So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was just saying
I
like
got you.
yo what's up, like what type of videos do you do, and then you just kind of explain like news updates, theories, discussions, blah blah blah. I was
Yeah.
just like I'm just coming back into YouTube and you're growing pretty fast, and I wanted to collab with you on a video, and you are entertaining and you know what you're talking about, and then from then we just kind of got on Discord and then we made a video, and then ever since then we've just been collabing over these years, becoming closer friends, and obviously it was last October, I believe.
Yeah.
Last October,
October, September,
you
I think actually,
yeah
or
you
one
you
of
came
those.
to me and then you were like, I was wondering if you wanted to come join, switch stop and make content. I think you were saying something about like you were struggling, kind of dealing with schoolwork
Yeah.
and YouTube on top of it and balancing it. And
Yeah.
you
Well,
would need
I
help
was
for people.
anticipating a struggle
Yeah.
because I was very burnt out at the time.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And I could feel my motivation kind of slipping. And I was this was at the start of my junior year of high school. I'm now about to go into senior year. And junior year is supposed to be the hardest year. Junior spring in particular is supposed to be really difficult. Didn't really have a junior spring. I had online classes, which was still very difficult, but made doing YouTube a lot easier because like during my breaks between classes, instead of chilling with my friends, I could record videos.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was not really motivated, and I was just like, if I want Switch Up to like grow big, I have to make a change because I could keep making the videos I'm making right now that just I am not happy with, or I can make a change. And so I was like, yo, PJ, my guy, my man, you want the opportunity of a lifetime? Not really. That was
Yeah. But
that was definitely how I phrased it though, for real.
But
No.
yeah, I mean, it was obviously very beneficial for the both of us because I had
Yeah.
the platform that I sought after all those years, on and off YouTube, whether that be like arguments, with my friend, or my inactivity, me being selfish in whatever ways in the past or whatever, to get that opportunity to kind of have that bigger platform and to make content with Thomas was pretty cool because the way that we met, it was like I was the bigger channel at the time, even though I
Yeah,
didn't post
that's
in
kind of funny.
however. And then I find it when he's like 300 subs and I'm like, you want to collab? He's like, sure. And then luckily we together, mostly you, but we together have built this huge, I would say pretty large now, Switch Stop channel. Well,
And now we're back at 1,000 on Nintendo Tonight.
yeah, now we're back. Now we're back.
It's
No, but
no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not fine. Please send help. No, I'm fine.
yeah, but assuming we get the
Can't be
channel back,
sarcasm.
yeah, assuming we get the channel back, obviously, it's a crazy opportunity experience, and it's not even half into it yet. We still have huge plans, and obviously
Yeah.
very grateful that we connected because we we're doing this
100%.
podcast, doing the channel, making each other's lives easier for YouTube content and everything. So
100%.
yeah, so that's how we met.
It-
Just a simple
yeah.
DM.
I mean,
That's
it's
all.
just it's like great now. Like we literally like we don't have legitimate arguments. The only time we'll have like a disagreement, we just literally talk it out, and it solves itself 99% of the time. Yeah, everything is working so smoothly. This is like literally like it'll sound like hyperbole to you guys, but I think both of us agree this is really the opportunity of a lifetime that
Of
we
course.
have here.
Yeah.
So just I mean, it's kind of ironic that we're talking about it now when the channel is actually deleted, but assuming we get the channel back,
Horrible
assuming we
timing,
get the channel
but
back, yeah, assuming we get the channel back, I mean, honestly, dude, if anything, this deletion just makes me want to work that much harder because
Yeah,
it's like I wasn't taking it for granted, but now I feel what it's like to have
taken
all
away.
that reach taken away, and I don't
Yeah.
want that. So yeah, we have some crazy plans for YouTube, but that was also not the question at all. So I'm gonna shut up.
Dude, we both went on so much, mostly me. But
That's all
anyway,
good, man.
moving on. Yeah, episode 10 gonna be a longer one. Obviously, very emotional question there. Anyway,
Yeah, I was
next.
crying actually. For Spotify and iTunes users,
Yeah, yeah.
no, I was not. That's sarcasm again. Please, sarcasm, sarcasm, sarcasm.
Crying on the inside. So next question here
Yeah.
from Galactic Plays, and this is a little difficult to read, but I'll kind of just cipher through what he was trying to say. He was basically trying to ask if, if N64 Online becomes a thing, like, does this deconfirm, the 3D remasters, considering Super Mario 64 is going to be in that? Because when you think about it, it's actually a pretty valid question. Like,
Yeah.
if there's N64 Online, which we would assume there is, right? Like, come on, there's no way there's not. And then there's like Super Mario 64 in the remaster. It's like, I mean, that's like probably the biggest N64 game ever, or
It
at
is.
least,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, of course. That it's a bit of a dilemma. I mean, I don't know really what they would do. I'm pretty sure they would, do a full re-release with the remasters again, but just that entire kind of situation, like, what do you think? Do you think that we get N64 Online eventually, and will it have Super Mario 64?
It depends on how we get these remasters. I do think eventually we will get N64 Online. I do think, however, Game Boy Online is coming first, which a lot of people haven't really mentioned, but I do think that is coming before N64 Online. But whatever. N64 Online. I think if we get this Super Mario remasters and we like the version of Mario 64 is literally just like a widescreen version, like no real gameplay tweaks, it's just Mario 64 in HD. Then when N64 Online comes out, I don't think they even include Mario 64.
Yeah,
Maybe there's a little icon there, and then you click on it, and it takes you to the eShop listing of the other
yeah,
one. That would be a
yeah,
cheeky way for free advertisement, but
yeah,
um, that's what I would think. However, if Mario 64, um, if the 3D remasters come out and Mario 64 is kind of a hybrid between Mario 64 and Mario 64 DS, and it's got upgraded graphics at some points, and it's more than just a straight port of that ROM, then I think they will also include the original Mario 64.
yeah.
Just because, I mean, it's such a classic game. People still speedrun it to this day.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, I think they have to.
Yeah, definitely agreed there. Next question here from Will Coble. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Asking, do you ever think a toned down GTA could come to the Switch? I don't think that GTA is going to come to the Switch, at least GTA 5. It's too late, I think, because GTA 6 is coming out in like 2021 or 2022. But
No, it's not.
it's
They
not.
they bro, this is it has been an entire meme that
No way.
they're not
I
making a
meant
new.
GTA 6 for like PS5 and stuff.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's so funny, dude.
What happened?
The PS5 reveal event, they have a trailer start playing and it says
Oh
Rockstar
yeah.
Games presents,
Yeah, I remember,
and
yeah.
they're just porting
Boarding,
GTA
yep.
5 to those consoles with extra features or like extra like graphics or whatever.
Mhm.
Ooh. So yeah, GTA 6 is a long way from coming, at
Mm.
least from what the rumors slash everything has been stating. So
Hope not.
and the fact that we are getting the GTA again in 2020, GTA 5 again in 2021 means that they're not afraid to port it again. So yeah, just giving you that information, you can
Gotcha.
still say what you want to say.
I mean, if it does come to Switch, and I doubt it, I just don't think that it's gonna
Yeah.
be toned down at all. I don't see them censoring it like that. Because Nintendo, or at least like JRPG type games, and even Bayonetta are not afraid to be a little um, NSFW.
Promiscuous.
That too.
Yeah.
Lack of a better term. Um, so I just don't see GTA coming to the Switch. But if it does, I don't think it's gonna get toned down at all.
I'm 100% with PJ on that one. It sucks because Rockstar showed that they kind of want to support the Switch a little bit because they ported LA Noire to the Switch. GTA could 100% run on Switch because it runs on Xbox 360 and PS3, and we got all the Saints Row games, which, in terms of or not all the Saints Row games, but a fair amount of them ported
Yeah.
over to Switch. And in
Pretty sure
terms
1
of,
to 3, right?
I
Think
think so,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And in terms of like open world, I mean GTA 5 is probably a bigger open world than that, but still, it's like it's definitely possible. They could literally like Skyrim. Skyrim's on Switch. There's no, yeah. I'm that's literally it's possible. I just Rockstar has not supported the Switch really at all. So besides LA Noire, so
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. Don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. I don't really think so. So next up is a question just for you.
Ooh,
So from Zach underscore 207, sorry.
gotcha.
Specifically for Thomas, could you see yourself ever torturing yourself again by making another non-Nintendo Direct featuring stuff like Super Mario Odyssey 2, Super Mario Maker 3, and maybe a Breath of the Wild 2 more in-depth trailer? It would be really cool to see that. So, do tell, have you been thinking of
Yeah.
making another Nintendo Direct?
Well, I definitely have. I've been toying around with the idea. It's definitely something that is not in the works, but is in. I'm thinking about it
Brainstorming?
conceptually. Yeah, or I don't even want to say I'm brainstorming. I'm not like writing like when I was brainstorming the original Nintendo Direct, I was writing down which trailers I wanted to do and all that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even doing that right now. I'm just thinking, do I want to do this? Which is a yes. I think I want to eventually do a project like that again, despite the fact that you hit the nail on the head there, Zach. It was torturous. It was a very long and tedious process. If I want to do it again, how do I want to take it? Because the original Nintendo Direct, I'd tell you guys to go watch it. Once again, not there, but no, the original Nintendo Direct is it was very much what it was very possible. There was nothing in there that was really out of this world, like impossible for Nintendo to do. In fact, a lot of those games I think will end up happening. I'm very convinced that the Galaxy thing will happen because Super Mario 3D remasters, obviously 3D World, I think will happen. Pikmin 3 Deluxe already happened. There was a trailer for that in there. The only stuff that was really unrealistic, I don't think we're gonna get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. But everything,
Such a
I
shame,
know,
by the way.
it's such a
I
shame.
got a rant about that, but anyway.
Yeah, well, that's a future episode though.
That is a future
We
episode, you're
got
right.
that lined up.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's definitely if I were to do another one, I would have to lean more into games that have not been announced yet. Because the one falter with the with the Nintendo Direct was that pretty much everything in there was either a trailer for a game that's already been announced or a trailer for a port. Which, granted, makes sense because I can't really make full gameplay for a game that does not exist. I
Yeah.
already kind of
Yeah.
moved heaven and earth to make gameplay for Mario Kart tracks that don't exist because I had to get my friend to completely remodel the tracks in HD, which is
That's
way more
insane.
work. It's
Yeah.
way more work than I thought we would ever put into a YouTube video. So yeah, I mean, right there, I already kind of like that already was ridiculous to try and make an entire new game, meaning I have to like essentially I'd have to like work super closely with my friend or learn, to become a better 3D modeler myself because I'm not the best right now, or I'm not really good at all actually. I can do minor stuff, but um I would have to, like, if I were to do Odyssey 2, it would have to be like I'd have to like literally draw concept art as if we were making an actual game because it's that same process of modeling it. So maybe I will start something like that eventually. Um, just the way I am, if I do a Nintendo Direct 2, it's gonna have to be bigger and better than the first. So who knows? Yeah, who knows? I eventually maybe again. I tossed around the idea of doing it yearly before. I don't think I want to do that. Because the Nintendo Direct came out in June because there was no E3. But assuming that Nintendo goes to E3 again next year or does
It's
something in June, I don't want to put out a Nintendo Direct and
yeah.
then yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's
I don't know.
also a very unique place where we're in just unprecedented territory, obviously, with this
hundred
pandemic and
percent.
everything.
Yeah,
And it was kind of a one off, I think. I mean, if you just never made another one again, it wouldn't be like, that wouldn't be like terrible
yeah,
at all. Cause, I mean, well, I don't know. Who knows what will happen in the future, but, knock on this invisible wood that, like this pandemic will have stopped at least by next year. I mean,
yeah.
Jesus, man.
We'll
Um,
see. But yeah, to answer your question, too long didn't listen, even though I'm sure you all just listened. Just to summarize it, I guess it's definitely possible, not out of the cards, but do not hold your breath because it wouldn't happen for a long time. It
mhm.
needs to be the right set of circumstances, and I need to get um to put in a Herculean amount of effort to make another one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Let's see here. And just by the way for viewers, there's just a little bit of lag on Thomas's end tonight at least. So just pardon us for that, but
Oh yeah,
it's
sorry
just
about that.
been a lot, man. I mean, we're just trying to make some, great content for you guys, and if there's just a few little lag spots, we apologize, but
Yeah,
we're trying, we promise.
yeah, it goes back
So
to all the hacking. We're kind of on.
drained, mentally drained
You'll
a
see
little
I'm
bit.
on a different webcam right now. It's it's a lot right now, but
Oh yeah.
we're trying our best. So thank you for sticking with us and hopefully not getting pissed off.
Yeah. Next question here from Max Berg asking, some people are saying that the partner showcase was a replacement for the Indies Summer Showcase. Your thoughts? I wouldn't be oh, sorry. Hit my phone on my keyboard. I
Oh,
wouldn't be
you're all good.
surprised. I would not be surprised if that was actually true. I mean, we obviously probably won't find out, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Although, we really went off about that whole Nintendo Direct partner showcase titling last episode, I believe. But uh I got sidetracked, sorry, I just got so mad about it again.
You're
But
good. You're all good, man.
yeah, I mean, that's a very big possibility. I mean, what do you think? Very
I
plausible.
honestly think that I saw someone say this on Twitter. I honestly think that the Nintendo or the damn it, the Nintendo partner showcase was just the crappy games that they had to show that they would have shown off at E3 because every E3, like even though Nintendo tries to do just straight bangers at E3, it's generally like a good announcement at the a huge announcement at the beginning, a blockbuster announcement at the end,
At the end,
some
yep.
good announcements in the middle, and then like everything else is just like kind of like weird third party stuff that most people don't care about.
Yep.
I'm gonna get hate for saying that, but I don't really care. It's true. I think that partner showcase was some of the third party stuff that like they had contractual obligations to show off. So, for example, Cadence of Hyrule, I think is a bit of a special case because it's obviously an exclusive and it's B like very tied to Nintendo. So they
Obviously
wanted to
Hyrule, yep.
yeah, they wanted to elevate that. But like the Atlas thing, they definitely, that was definitely supposed to be just a random announcement in the middle of E3 because even though it's big for the people who care about it, not many people care about Shin Megami Tensei. Once again, sorry, just true. So it was definitely not meant to ever carry a presentation. It was just something that Atlas was like, "Yo, Nintendo, can you guys do us a solid and announce this during a direct so where more people can see it?" Nintendo goes like, "Yeah." Direct doesn't happen. They make a direct so that they can still make good on those promises and keep the developer publisher
Yeah.
relations up. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, just that partner showcase again. Why did you have to put direct in the name? Come on, guys. I mean, jeez. Anyway,
Yeah, it's rough.
um, it is a little
Not
bit.
the most intelligent play by them. No.
So next up here, we got a question from Aaron Granados. Apologies if I mispronounce that. Um, yeah, a lot of names today. I don't know, can't speak. Anyway,
It's all good, man. It's
yeah,
all good.
okay, so question for the both of you. Which game do you think has the best soundtrack? And if you were to recommend somebody play a game solely because of its music, which one would it be? Now, just for me, Pokemon Platinum, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Um, and honestly, the Pokemon Black and White games had really good music too, but those are very notable for me. Super Mario Sunshine. I mean, there's just so much good music in Nintendo games, but you're
Bro,
about to friggin' like do a
I'm
ballerina
gonna
dance over
come.
there, but go
I'm
ahead.
gonna combust over here. That is a unbelievably mean question. I cannot pick just one, so I'm not going to. I know whoever asked that had the best intentions. I am such a big fan of video game music that's just
Yeah, me
like
too.
there's no way for me to.
There's just so
But
much
yeah,
good stuff.
bro, there's so many great games that have soundtracks that I've never even played the game and I listen to the soundtrack. But anyway, there's
Hoenn games.
best
Oh,
Nintendo. I'm gonna say Nintendo specifically. I'm going to go with something that I'm sure is not okay. Nintendo specifically, not counting any Smash game because that is just a cheat code in terms of video
Yeah,
game
yeah,
music.
yeah.
Um,
That's true.
I'm gonna go with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because Mario
Yeah.
Kart 8 Deluxe is literally just Mario Kart 8 soundtrack, but it includes all the DLC stuff built into it, and it has like extra battle mode themes, which are the Mario Circuit battle theme or like the Mario Stadium battle theme is actually like a banger. Everything else is just remixed from that battle theme's subsequent track, I think. But the Mario Kart 8 soundtrack is the first soundtrack in any Mario Kart game, I believe, that has unique songs for each and every course. Otherwise, in a lot of them, they kind of double up occasionally. Like some retro courses will double
Yep.
up sounds or stuff like that. Mario Kart 8, nope. Every single one is unique. Every single song in that game is an absolute banger. Like it's just heat the entire time. Big Blue banger, Super Bell Subway banger, both of the Rainbow Roads banger, Dolphin Shoals, the saxophone solo in Dolphin Shoals, straight banger. Like I think Mario Kart 8. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Mario Kart 8 slash Deluxe, in terms of presentation, meaning graphically and musically, Nintendo's the best thing Nintendo's ever done. Um,
The best Mario
in
Kart
terms of
game
other
Nintendo's ever
games,
done, or because you lagged?
no, the best. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's
The
all good.
best. I think the best like game Nintendo's ever done.
Oh yeah, okay.
Musically, like when you take all the presentation, I think it is par none the best looking game Nintendo has ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go back and watch some of that, especially in like the Mario Kart TV mode, put it in slow motion, like the textures look really good, and it's a racing game, meaning that the textures don't need to look good because you're going so fast, but they do. So, yeah, it it looks good. Besides, not counting Nintendo, best indie game soundtrack. I'm forgetting so much right now. I already know, but I'd probably have to say Celeste or Shovel Knight.
Yeah,
Um,
Celeste is a big one
yeah,
for me, definitely. Yep, agreed.
yeah. That's my take. And sorry for the lag, by the way, guys.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just
it's all good. It's
out
just
of my control. Yeah.
uh-huh. Unfortunate. So question here from Epic Cow actually connects to Mario Kart as you were just talking about. What is
Ah,
your favorite Mario Kart game? Now, for me at least, Mario Kart Wii, I think, is the best of all time. The community is pretty amazing from what I've seen. You know, all of these people still playing it online and, you know, competitively all these years later. And it just feels, I mean, well, it doesn't feel polished. There's a lot of glitches, but I mean, like,
yeah.
it's just, I guess it's just nostalgic for me, and I just
I
love
get that. I get that.
the roster as well. I mean, Funky Kong is just like amazing.
Mhm.
Why did they remove him, by the way? But that's a whole other topic for next episode,
Yeah.
um, or a future episode. We don't know yet. Anyway, Funky Kong, all of that, Mario Kart Wii, you know, Coconut Mall, so much nostalgia for me. One of my first Mario Kart games, I believe. First one, Mario Kart DS, which is another great one for me. Even though that one is a little bit mid tier for a lot of people, I really enjoyed it. But definitely, my favorite is Mario Kart Wii, hands down.
Yeah, I gotta say 8 Deluxe. I feel like we're gonna talk
Yep.
about this as PJ said in a future episode. I'll keep it brief. It's got the most tracks, got the best battle mode in my opinion, just in terms of sheer variety. I love Renegade Roundup and Shine Thief.
Hmm.
It's got the best online in my opinion. Servers work better than Mario Kart Wii because
Oh,
obviously
no
those
doubt.
servers you have to do like custom servers now.
Hmm.
Um, it's just it's the best one in my opinion.
Gotcha. All right, so let's see here. All right, question here from with a side of beans, and that is actually his username.
That is an amazing username.
um,
That is an awesome name.
yeah, no kidding. Saying, hey guys, loving the podcast. Thank you very much. I commented this last time, but I think it got lost in the sea of comments. My bad. Anyways, I was wondering what you two think about Breath of the Wild 2 being local or online co op. I personally think that the gameplay style would really suit multiplayer, but I don't know if it would be something that Nintendo would do. Now, this is actually pretty cool because there's been some rumors about Zelda apparently being like a playable character in Breath of the Wild 2, whether, you know, that includes multiplayer along with Link, or if you're just playing like as Zelda as a certain or in a certain like portion of the game. It would be different. It would be another amazing step that, you know, the Zelda series would take, obviously making multiplayer. Um, in that story. I don't think it's ever been done before. I mean, I could be wrong, but
Not in
I
like a
don't.
mainline one, I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean,
Well,
like
yeah,
Triforce Heroes or like Fourth
Triforce
Division,
Heroes. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna
but
say. Yeah.
those don't count, I don't
Yeah.
think.
But like main series Zelda games, this would just be another brand new feature that I'm sure would be great because I do have trust in that series. I mean, like they made Breath of the Wild pretty damn amazing. So, what do you think about co-op being in Breath of the Wild too? Like, online co-op or local co-op, whatever they end up doing, playing as Zelda, I think would be pretty interesting towards what they're gonna do for the story and just overall like the general gameplay.
Um, I think it's definitely the next step. I think online is a bit ambitious. It's just given Nintendo.
Mm,
Local, I think honestly probably will happen. To be honest, I just think that multiplayer is the next evolution for Breath of the Wild.
yeah.
And therefore Zelda as a whole. Yeah, I agree with it cautiously, but it's like we don't really know, so it's just kind of like a
I mean, it's a
like
cool idea. I mean,
it's a
like it
cool
would
idea.
be
I hope it happens, but who knows?
It would be a cool direction to see the series go in. That might be a little controversial because when you change up the formula like that, it can get a little messy,
Yeah,
Pokemon, etc. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna
yeah,
leave
I
that alone.
gotcha.
So okay.
If
Oh,
that's
probably like three more after this. But yeah,
okay,
go on. Go
yeah.
ahead.
If there's a question, sorry, if there's a question by a Twitter user DM'd me, their name is Panther, but if the A in Panther is a
Yeah,
four.
I was about to read
Um,
one of them from that.
Perfect. Okay, because
Yep.
they DM me and said something like you guys didn't do my question or something. They sent like a meme about it, I think too. And I had their question like in my notifications, but then we got hacked and so many people followed and
Literally
liked and stuff of it.
300 plus notifications at least.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
I literally couldn't like find it again, but I specifically wanted to answer his question because
yeah,
he
sure.
asked. So
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, so question from Panther here perfectly. Like what perfect timing. Asking if you could add one feature to the Switch, what would it be? I would love it if they added a
That
party
was it.
chat
Yeah.
feature. So that is
I was
very
gonna say, do you
interesting.
want voice chat?
What would I want on the themes? Themes, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Apologies for screaming. I told
Sure.
you guys I would scream and then I wouldn't let you guys know for those people who'd like to sleep to our voices. I told you. I gave
Oh
you a
yeah,
warning.
we did say that. We
But
did say that a couple episodes back.
no, but themes. I was playing my 3DS because recently we renovated my room in my house, so I had to like move my PC and I wasn't able to use it. So for those days, I found my platinum file. I found all my like my case of like really good DS games because I have like a case of like best of all time DS and 3DS games, and platinum was in there. So I was like, you know what, I'll just play through it. And I was on my DS home screen and I saw a theme and I was like
Yeah,
how
it's disappointing.
animated backgrounds, static backgrounds, you sell them, you make so much money, Nintendo, for free basically. It's so insane, man. Like, oh, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. The 3DS has themes and you don't put them on the Switch. I just don't get why. That is hands down the one feature I would love to see. Party chat is a great one. I don't know if Nintendo wants to go in that direction exactly, with that party chat community that can get a little toxic, obviously, as you see on Xbox and PlayStation with games like Call of Duty, NBA 2K, um, all of that. I'm not sure if they want to go in that direction, but still, that is something very requested. But for me, hands down, it's going to have to be themes, and Nintendo, please add them. I would pay for them. I really would.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone would. I don't understand why they're not added, but I think I'm not gonna go. I would probably say like a built-in party system to the Switch, like would probably be my number one. But then again, you'd have to revise the controllers to have like headphone jacks. So I'm not doing that, and I'm not gonna do themes because you just did that. Even though I've been asking for themes since literally, I think one of my like third or fourth videos was about like top 5 UI improvements, and I did themes. What I want to talk about right now is an achievement system alongside
Yeah, wow.
like platinum on PlayStation. You can platinum a game by getting all the achievements, or the Xbox Live
hmm
achievements, Xbox Gold. I don't know what it's called, but achievements on Switch.
They
That
they
seems like a
changed.
Slam
sorry to
dunk.
interrupt, but like
Yeah.
Xbox's online, they changed the name a lot. I mean, there's a lot going on with them, but anyway,
Yeah.
I
Like
can
Game
understand it's a
Pass and
little
all that.
confusing. Yep, yep. Anyway, go on.
Um, I think that's a slam dunk. Nintendo games generally have very are very replayable. They're
Mm-hmm.
very you know, it's a very like especially on the Switch for some reason, Nintendo has been really leaning into the sort of open world style of game. Even look at Paper
Yes.
Mario. Obviously, the obvious example is Breath of the Wild. You can maybe see my poster up in the back if you're watching on YouTube. Probably not because it's too dark. But the obvious example is Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey.
Yep.
I'm even just gonna go Paper Mario. Paper Mario. It's not technically really open world, but the worlds are definitely more open. There's a bit more branching paths. There's more areas to go. It's not as linear, and you got like they're not the same as Koroks, but they're somewhat interchangeable. All those red toads you can find, or not
Yeah.
just red, but all those toads you can find that'll help you in battle and all that stuff. Like there's no real reason for you to collect every single one. I don't think. Maybe the game gives you a in-game reward or something. I can't tell you, but like stuff like that, that would be so much more impactful if you could get an achievement and it would appear on your Switch profile and it could show you. And this is an idea I've had for a while, PJ. Um, I've always wanted to do something like this, like maybe do a concept trailer that's like a complete redesign of the Switch's UI. But I would love if they actually combined our two features. So what if the achievements granted you like the My Nintendo points or something, and then your My Nintendo points
Could buy
could
themes.
buy themes?
Yes, that's a great
It
idea.
it works. It just
I
works.
mean, you
And
could say,
yeah,
like, yeah, so say that's, wow, that's a great idea. You could even have exclusive themes, that would be by completing these achievements, or
yeah,
achievements could give
exactly.
you My Nintendo points, or you could buy them with My Nintendo points and real money. So, I mean, that's a great integration between our two ideas there. I mean, the
Yeah,
Switch, I think for the both of us is, you know, I think it's a top three Nintendo console of all time. I don't know where that ranks in your favorite consoles of
it's
all
up
time,
there. It's up there.
but yeah, definitely in my
Put
top
3D
three.
World on it. It's number one
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah, no, I believe you. But yeah, oh, I definitely believe you on those 20 videos that you've made. Anyway, um, yeah, no doubt. The Switch is an amazing console, top three in my eyes for at least favorite consoles of all Nintendo consoles. I won't go that far. Um, but there's a lot there, but there's also a lot missing. There's a lot missing that you should be really advanced by now. A
Yeah,
lot of features
exactly.
that the Xbox and the PlayStation have retained for many, even generations and years now, that Nintendo hasn't really got in on quite yet. So obviously, we hope to see those two, and even the party chat for Panther there that asked that question.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right. So last
Let's.
question here from,
All right.
no, sorry, did you want to
I was
interject
gonna say
anything?
let's like find one or two more questions and
Yep. Yep. Yeah, yeah. Of course, this is the
see
last
how
one.
long we've been going, but all
Yeah,
right.
no, it's not as long as you think. So, last question here
Really?
from
Okay.
David Reyes asking about the Super Mario Galaxy 1 remaster. Do you think Nintendo will remove the nonsense of having two Luigis in Super Luigi Galaxy mode, aka playing the whole game again as Luigi? So, I don't think that they will remove that because one, it is kind of a fan favorite part of Super Mario Galaxy. It is a meme. About
Yeah.
Super Luigi Galaxy and everything. I've seen people even do full Let's Plays on Super Luigi Galaxy. But anyway, a staple honestly of like Mario games has been like this replayability at least. 3D world. You have to touch the top of the flagpole with every single playable character. Super Mario 3D
Exactly.
Land, you play through the game twice and you do that same thing. So, having to replay the whole game again as Luigi, I don't think they're gonna take out. I think we do believe that or that we both do think that Galaxy is gonna come to the Switch eventually, but I don't think that's gonna be removed because it's been a trend for long time now that you've had to replay the game multiple times to fully 100% it. So I don't see why they would just do a one off and do that now.
Yeah, I agree with you, PJ. And I think specifically what this commenter was asking was there's one part in Galaxy where you meet Luigi, and
Yeah,
when you're
that
playing
is
as
true.
Luigi, it's just like you meet
You
Luigi
also see
with
him. Yep.
Luigi. Once again, that's also a meme. I don't think they're going to bother to
Yeah.
remove that. If
Yeah, they won't.
anything, if anything, maybe they render a Super Luigi Galaxy logo and swap out the title screen when you're playing as Luigi. But yeah, I think they would definitely not remove anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they even might add like a little bit of dialogue as a meme as well. I mean, you never know what they'll
Yeah.
do, but I think that'll stay the same. So other than that, that is the end of the fan question segment, which will come, to the end of the podcast here. Thank you
Yeah.
guys so much for listening. I mean, like this has been a rough 36 hours for Thomas and I,
Yeah.
with the YouTube channel and everything being hacked and taken down and having to upload these videos and all that. So for those of you that are, still here and sub to the Nintendo Tonight channel, thank you so much for showing your support. I mean, it means so much to us. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just stressful. I'm glad that we could at least get on and do a podcast episode 10. Episode 11 will not be live, and I just want to reiterate once again because I don't know if I said it in the intro or the update video today, but we planned for episode 10 to be live, but we didn't end up doing that. Obviously, there was a little bit of a miscommunication between me and Thomas during episode 9, thinking that we were going to go live with episode 10, so we weren't going to do that. But when we announce a live episode next, that it will actually happen live on the Nintendo Tonight YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
be sure you stay tuned for that. A future episode will be fully Mario Kart centric. We're going to be having a guest on for that. I'm not sure if it's going to be next episode, but it's going to be pretty soon. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Going to be talking about
100%.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Kart 9, speculation, things we wish were in 8 Deluxe, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. All things Mario Kart, hour plus packed with that
Yeah.
stuff. So, yeah, be
Exactly.
sure to keep sending in those fan questions for episode 11. Once again, thank you guys so much for the support. It's been frigging crazy on Twitter yesterday, the amount of love that we got, even from our YouTuber friends that, we weren't in immediate contact with, showed support and, let
Yeah.
their fans know that we got hacked. Like, shout out for Cyroth and shout out for Nintendo, and I think that's how you say his name. Apologies if I
Yeah.
mispronounced it. Just really appreciative of the community and the people that we've met, to at least,
Yeah.
show
It's
appreciation
crazy.
and letting us know that, they want our channel to be back, basically.
Yeah.
Lack of words. It's been a rough one, at least. So, yeah, so that's all for me.
Yeah, I agree. Everything else we agree. Obviously, it's been rough, but we're gonna, stay positive throughout it all. And
Of course.
if we get our channel back, then hey, I mean, it's just another notch in the belt, I guess.
Yep.
With that out of the way, I mean, if you guys want to learn more about the hack and you haven't already, then we did a video about it on the Nintendo Tonight YouTube channel, which is either the one you're on right now, or if you're on iTunes or Spotify, it's just Nintendo Tonight on YouTube. Yeah. Thank you guys all so much for watching. As PJ said, the support specifically, I mean, the support is always means a lot to us, but specifically within the last 36 hours,
Yeah, it's
when
been
literally like worst case scenario happened, like it
So
just
much-
means the world.
Yeah, so much love from everyone, and just wanted to interject before we fully end it off. Be sure to follow us on all of our Twitters at SwitchStop, at PJ_SwitchStop, and at Nintendo Tonight for all updates on the podcast, the status of the channel, any updates on the hack, anything like that. Twitter will know first, so be sure to follow those if you have not already.
Yeah, with that out of the way, I'm just going to end it off. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and this has been the 10th ever episode
Wow.
of Nintendo Tonight. That's crazy, man.